Hey, it's Mary, and I'm back with another 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout process video for the ink road stamps. And what you will see right here is not what you get. I had done this paper that I'm trashing right now and putting in something else that's way more fabulous. This paper that I've picked was from the Maggie Holmes Gather collection from last fall. And I think that it works a lot better with the papers that I've chosen. But the reason why I showed you what I was going to do to begin with was just to show you that it didn't work and that sometimes things that we initially think will work aren't going to work, and that's okay. It was just too busy of a background for this particular layout. So what I have done, I skipped a lot of that process for you because it would have taken forever. But what I did was I stamped an image from the Majestic AF stamp set, and I took one of the unicorns, as you can see here. I stamped it out in black and on a white piece of cardstock, and then I took a picture of it, and then I put it into my Silhouette software, and I traced the lines. And so I made a cut file, and then I went ahead and I figured out the size that I would want by just kind of mocking up some pictures while I was in the Silhouette studio or design space. And then I cut it out on some white cardstock. And now what you're seeing me do is back it with some pretty papers. But I'm a nice person, and I don't make you sit here and watch me do the entire thing. So what you're seeing me do right now is I've got another piece of paper that I was just using from the Gather collection, and I'm just trying to find bits of paper that will make up the hair and the unicorn horn and the face and all of that. And so I've just basically used primarily scraps or things that I feel comfortable using in small bits. So for instance, this paper, that paper that you just saw was from the Paige Evans Oh My Heart line. And so there was a lot of strips of small pieces of paper, and normally I would cut into that and use that this way anyway. So that was my process for backing the unicorn. My favorite part about the unicorn, and you will definitely see in close-ups, was the horn, because that marble paper just made that unicorn horn perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and back the unicorn with some foam to elevate it a little bit. The papers that you are seeing me use right now are from the Maggie Holmes Carousel collection. So both the mint polka dot and the yellow lattice are from her new collection. So one of the great things about Maggie Holmes is that her collections usually, like, they can translate from collection to collection. And yeah, they're each going to have a different kind of theme, but most of the colors work really well together. She's got that very feminine, vintagey, floral feeling, and so you can generally find the good neutrals and the pastel colors, and as well as some of the bright colors. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of soften it a little bit. So I grabbed this white tissue paper, and I'm backing the photos a little bit more with the white tissue paper, and then I'll go ahead and pop those up on foam as well. But I'm just going to trim it down a little bit and make it a little bit more even. And because I went ahead and did the mock-up on my Silhouette software, I knew that all of this would fit. But it needed to fit like perfectly. Otherwise, you'd lose some of the images behind the unicorn. So I'll go ahead and pop that up on foam as well. And then I'm going to go and grab the tissue paper again and make some ruffles underneath the blue paper, because I felt like it needed just a little bit of a border underneath that mint polka dot paper. And you'll see me do that in just a second. So these pictures are of my daughter, Abby, and I'm behind her pushing her on the swing. And I kind of took those 3 shots of her from the start of the swing and in the middle of the swing, and then at the end of the swing when her face is all the way down backwards and her feet are up in the air. And I just loved this picture of her. This was while we were camping this summer, and we stayed at a KOA resort in in Oregon on the Oregon coast. And the KOA resort is awesome because we were able to stay in a cabin. Then they had several pools. They had a bunch of activities that kids can go do. It was seriously amazing. It felt like we were staying in a hotel because we stayed in a cabin, but at the same time, we still had the luxury of a campfire and all of that. So very, very, very fun family vacation. And I'm so lucky, blessed that we got to go on it. So what you see me doing here is just kind of pulling it up because if you remember correctly, I had already glued it or ran the tape runner underneath it. So I have to pull it up just a little bit. And I'm going to put down some score tape to ruffle my crepe paper on. So I chose to use crepe paper instead of tissue paper because crepe paper has a little bit more texture to it. I could have used the tissue paper, but I really wanted just an extra textural element to break it up, the floral background and then the mint paper that I've used to kind of mat all of my photos on. And then I'll go ahead and stitch along the edge, and that's what I've done here. And I used a yellow thread. And my ATG is driving me crazy lately. I think I got like an old an old roll of ATG tape when I ordered last time because it just isn't sticking the way that I'm used to it sticking. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like gunking up my machine, and so I'm fussing with it. I haven't had much trouble the last couple layouts that I've done. I have some more layouts that'll be coming, and I haven't had any trouble since this layout, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so now I'm going to go back to the stamp set that I'm featuring today, and I'm going to take a couple of the star bursts from that stamp and stamp them with embossing powder or in embossing ink. And then I'm going to do the powder in a gold, glittery gold. So it's going to be really subtle. It's going to be really hard to see from here, but you're going to be able to definitely tell in the close-ups. And you just have to move it in the right light. And it's perfect. It added the perfect touch. And I just went ahead and kind of stamped all around the unicorn as if like the unicorn was glowing or something. And the gold embossing powder that I have is just a Recollections gold glitter embossing powder. And then I made sure to take my paintbrush and kind of move any of the loose stuff off that I don't want on there so that I get a really clean, crisp image. And then I go ahead and I emboss a little bit at a time. So you're going to see me do this a couple of times. And the reason why I do that is because I want to make sure that the embossing powder that I've already poured on doesn't get muddied or anything as I'm stamping. So usually when I'm embossing like this and I'm doing several different little stamped images, I'll go ahead and I'll do a little bit at a time. I don't want it to dry. I want to have room for me to be able to take the brush and get off the flakes, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's just a little trick that works for me. So if you're doing the embossing too and you see that you don't like the way that it's turning out and that you can't get in with the paintbrush to get the loose powders off, try doing it in little sections instead because it is a lot easier. Now that tool that you just saw me use, that's an EK Success powder tool. They also make like little powder rubby tools. They look like a little pouch. Basically, it's just a static cling thing so that your powder just falls off instead of sticking on the paper. So once I'm done with the embossing, I'm taking this carousel ticket paper. This is a specialty paper that comes with the carousel collection. And I'm going to just use that as layering pieces. I really like the colors that were in it. It also matched Paige's colors that are in the unicorn. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp out a couple of sentiments. So I stamped out freaking majestic because she was, and she is. She's freaking majestic. And then I stamped out another couple of those little star bursts. And I fussy cut those out and I just kind of laid them up as embellishments. So you'll see that as well in the close-ups. And I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to place everything. I don't want it to be distracting from the unicorn over on the right. But I really like how this layout turns out. It's simple, it's girly, it's frilly. It's not like what you normally see from me. I'm very mixed media heavy artist, but I felt like because I had done the backing of the unicorn, that was the showstopper, right? That was the thing that I wanted to have paid attention to. So yeah, this was just a really fun layout to do. Super girly, but I think that you can still tell that it's a layout, like a Mary layout. I don't know. I have a hard time. Kira said that it's a Mary layout for sure. And she definitely recognized that it was different for my style, but she said that I still see you in it. And I have a hard time like narrowing down a style, right? Like what are the, you got Missy Whitten, she does the little thread nest and she does mixed media background. She does the packaging technique. She usually has a cut file. Kira, she does the folded corners with little peekaboo papers in the background, and she also does the twine and the hand stitching. I don't know what my thing is, like my signature. I want to scroll through my layouts and see a Mary signature, and I haven't seen that quite yet. Anyway, little tangent. This is the specialty stickers from the Carousel collection, and that is a little bow that I made. It was a DIY bow, and I just went to Walmart and purchased black and white striped ribbon for $1.99 instead of buying the bow pack for $3.99 to save money. And now I'll have those black and white bows for a very long time because there was a lot of ribbon. And I'm just trying to figure out a title, where to place the title. I thought about using that cute little banner sticker. These stickers are super fun. They're like a puffy sticker, but they're harder than a puffy sticker. And it's like a cross between a puffy sticker and an enamel dot, if that makes any sense. So they're really, really pretty, and I love them. But they're not as maneuverable as like a foam thicker. So I end up kind of trying to bend it, but it keeps popping back. I end up using the Happy, and then I remembered that I had this mint and gold thicker from Hip Kip Club exclusives. They were made for a kit that I had gotten when I was subscribed to Hip Kit Club, and so Happy Girl is the title of this layout. And I really like how the mint and the gold looks against the white crepe paper. And then here you can see me kind of bending it around. So it does bend a little bit, but it was pretty hard to bend. But I made it work. Now I'm going to take some gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine because you just need more gold. You can't have enough gold, especially on a unicorn layout. And I'm going to embrace the unicorn layout because I didn't know that I would ever do a unicorn layout. But I really loved how this turned out. And that's going to be it for me today, you guys. Hang around because I have some close-ups at the end. Make sure to go check out the blog for more details. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. I share this channel with my crafty bestie, Kira, and we just love hanging out with you guys. And so if you like us, go ahead and subscribe. Why not? Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!